What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. I was asked the other day, hey Dubs, can you do a video on the Asians? They say I've done videos on just about every other faction. What's going on with the Asians? So I decided today, this video is going to be about my time with Asians. I think it's only right that if I'm going to talk about doing time with Asians, we're going to go all the way back to the California Youth Authority. And that is my first time ever doing time with Asians. That is when I really understood the depth of their secrecy. An Asian is not going to talk to you if he doesn't want to. They see no reason to converse with you unless they choose to. Now, I want to tell you about a buddy I had. His last name was Huang, right? And those of you guys that have been following the channel for a while, you're going to remember this guy. So Huang and I were buddies, right? We didn't bust spreads together, none of that in YA, but we always, hey, what's up, man? You know, chopped it up. We were on the same dorm. And one day, he happened to be assigned to the bunk next to mine in the dorm, right? And I may or may not have had terrible gas that day. And this guy used to always call me by my first name. My first name is John. Now, those that are close to me call me Johnny, but my first name is John, right? And so while we're laying in the dorm, I may have released some air, right? Bow. And I did so with the hopes that it would be horrible. And guess what? It did not let me down. Because immediately after I let this fart out, slowly and quietly, silently but deadly, Huang jumped out of his bed. I've never seen anybody so mad at a fart. John, man, why you fart for, man? Why you fart for? That's what he kept saying. John, man, why you fart for, man? That's not funny, man. Why you fart for? That was my buddy Huang. I don't think I've ever seen anyone else get that angry at a fart in my lifetime. But there was that, right? And Huang was, I think he was a little taller than me, thin. And there was a goofy white dude on our dorm, right? And this guy used to get bullied a lot. And I'm not going to say his whole name. He actually watches the channel. Jeremy. You know who you are, Jeremy. And you remember this day. There's no way in hell you forgot this day. So I guess Jeremy decided, today I'm going to make a stand. Now, I remember Jeremy trying to make 2 stands. And they both went about the same way. The outcome was. But Jeremy decided that day he was going to make a stand. And he was going to get respect. And he decided that he was going to mess with the skinny Asian. When I tell you the depths of martial arts that occurred immediately. Homie. Jeremy stepped up to the plate and got karate chopped and karate kicked to the depths of his soul. It was so fucking funny. Chingao. You guys, I wish there was a way that I could play back memories for you guys and make, because that shit was funny. So there was that. When I was in YTS, that was in Paso, the first, the five, why 5-4, and the fucking Kung Fu Theater. That was Paso Robles. Then I went to YTS, and in YTS, all like areas or barrios or whatever, they had their own trades. right? That's the trade school. You learn masonry, carpentry, bakery, like culinary, like there was a lot of butchery, like they had all kinds of trades, auto body. And the Asians, they had the barbershop. So did other areas, but the Asians, the barbershop was their shit, right? And so when you went in there, you'd see all the barbers kicking it, waiting for their customers, and you'd see a lot of Asians there. And a specific group decided to test the Asians. And once again, I'm not even trying to be stereotypical, but I think every one of them was born at least with a black belt, because that group that decided to fuck with them in the barbershop that day got whooped on. Okay? So for people that look at Asians and think, oh, he's probably like, he's good at math or he studies good in school, he's probably good at whooping your motherfucking ass. So you better have some respect, okay? Now, getting to the joint. I used to always show the others a lot of respect. There have been times, you know, in high desert, unfortunately, there was an incident that occurred, and a southerner from, I believe it was San Diego, was killed by the cops, and it was because the southerners and the Asians and the others got into it. It was southerners and the others, but it had to do with an Asian that got there. And you know, I don't get into all those. You got those of you that know. It wasn't personal. There was a specific group that was targeted, and if any of them ever landed, there was going to be an issue, and that was one of those things, right? There aren't a lot of Asians, at least in my experience. But just like anybody else, I can say I never ran into one that I could say that vato was a coward. That guy is a coward right there. I think that people need to understand that when you're functioning in a California prison, if your faction has you on the yard, it's because you're not a coward, and you're gonna represent, and you're gonna stand tall for your people. And I used to gamble a lot. I played a lot of poker and blackjack, mainly poker in prison. And I liked gambling against Asians. I really liked when they would cook their spreads with the damn cuttlefish and all that stuff. They used to hook me up. Thank you. But in the joint, I had one buddy of mine, C-Yard in New Folsom. And I don't know. I guess with the others, there's no shot caller, but this dude was pretty much, it seemed like from the outside looking in, and from what he told me, he had the Asian car, right? And I used to gamble against this guy a lot. He was Vietnamese. He was from the V at Orange County, right? And I know there's probably people that are going to remember him. He had been on B facility and then came over to C facility. And I have to say, he was very intelligent, very, very observant. Not someone to take lightly. I noticed he studied very well. He studied the way Southerners conducted their hits on the yard. And then when he had his people moved on, it was Southern style to a T. The Northerners have a way of doing their hits. So do the Southerners. And it was, and I remember clowning him after. I was like, man, you be paying too much attention, man. And he's like, it came out right though, right? And there actually was one day where, and I told this story in another video, where one of the Southerners, I don't know, they made a comment or something, and it got to this guy's ears. And it was another one of those days where the Southerners didn't have yard that day, or at least that yard. They were going to have it in the next yard, right? And I noticed all of the Asians grouping up. And then they went into where the weight pile would have been. You still have the little benches and stuff there right next to the basketball court, right? And they never hung out there. So only a few of us on the yard. I'm looking, I said, hey, Holmes, I think these dudes are about to move on us. So I told the homies, hey, go to the chow hall doors. Tell the homies when the truck comes, come out here strapped. And they did. And then once they came out strapped, I said, man, hold on, Holmes. Let me go talk to this dude. The homies wanted to go with me. I said, nah. I'm going to go by myself. This is somebody I fuck with, man. I approached him. I said, hey, homie, can I holler at you? So he came and, we had a discussion. And I said, what's this tension for? You and I can always talk. We've been talking. And he let me know what it was. And I told him, don't worry about it. It'll get taken care of. We shook hands. And everybody went back to business as usual. So Asians are going to be quiet. They mind their own business. But when it comes time to handle business, at least from what I've seen, they're down to do it. Just like everyone else. That's my video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love, man. I'm out of here. And for the homie from the V that, I used to always kick it with, dope, man.